Who? What's going on, YouTubers? Donnie B all day. So, doing a little something different today, a little something special. I'm going to take you through my process in my brain. B for brain. I'm going to show you how I go from start to finish, from how I design a blade and how I make it happen, and to a finished product to where I can have it stenciled to bring to Joe, and Joe can put the stencil on the steel and he can start making it all work. So let's do this. Let's go from the beginning, and I'll show you what I do on my computer. I use the basic paint program on a computer. Start with a white canvas just like this, right? And you see all the little colors and everything. Everybody has this. I was going to say, you might not be able to see it. What I do is I start with a light color and I make an outline, a very rough outline of the kind of shape I want, right? So once I have that outline, then I go to the black color and I take my same thing that I just did, same thing on the outline, and now I'm going to refine the lines. And I'm going to try to do this while I hold you guys up in the air. It's going to make it pretty difficult, but it's all right. We'll get it. We'll get it. So let's say I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make a line probably to there, and I want to fill my arc, and I want to get it to just right where I'm going to want that line. So now I'm going to do it all over again from that point to the tip of my design, and I'm going to find my arc. Now this is where I need to work my measurements in my head to figure out, because I have to be able to measure from the high point, which is going to be right here on this knife, to the low points on each side, and figure out how far down I want to go. And then I have to scale out the angle of my tip, which that is a bigger process than people would imagine, is drawing out what you want for the angle of the tip of the knife. It has to match every part of the knife, every part of the design, and it has to do it perfectly. And this is an area between this area right here and the handle is where I go back and refinagle all the time, where I'm just constantly going at it. Now here, what I usually do is I will take and make a circle and try to figure out where I'm going to need to position it. That one didn't work out right to the position I wanted, so I erase it and I start again. That one I know is getting a little closer, so I erase it and I start again. And I have to just keep going through this process over and over again until it looks perfect to me. And right about there is where I would want it. So now I'm going to go back into, change my color, and I'm going to go to white, and I'm going to go to a straight line, and I'm going to finish off that and finish off that. Then I'm going to go to the little paint area, hit that, and boom, I just got a choil, right? So this is what I do for the whole thing. I make myself an outline, a very, very rough outline. You can see that I already went over it a couple times here. I don't know if you can see it, but because it's just what the angle wasn't working for me. So I had to completely change the angle over and over again, so I could have it to a point where it would be satisfactory to me. So let's see. And this is the angle I came up with, because it felt right, it had good flow, and the measurements fit each other. So now I have to connect it by connecting that arc to make that arc perfect, right? And so now I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to make a little line right here to here, and I'm going to make a little bow, and this is how I get my outline. Now the outline, just because it's solid doesn't mean it stays. I might change an outline 2 or 3, 4 times, whatever, just to get it perfect. And you can see this is literally all I do. I make an outline, and I darken an outline, and you know, making the original outline takes forever. It really does. It takes a long time because you're hitting it and you're going, yeah, that looks good. Then you're staring at it and you're going, okay, maybe it doesn't look good. And then you have to change it up. And I don't like having to change it up all the time. So there we go, because I mean, it just drives me crazy because I'm a perfectionist and I want my designs to be perfect, but they have to have that flow, right? And every measurement has to count. I know that this has to be 1.5 inches. I know that that has to be from here to here. The cutting edge is going to be about 9.25. I know that the edge is going to be 10. I know that this from here to here is going to be 5.5. I have to understand the gap in between, because the swell where you put your palm really makes a difference. The size of the choil really makes a difference. So I go from here, and that's when I do the coloring in, and that turns into, here it comes, get ready. Well, it took a little longer than I'd hoped. Then that would turn into that. All I did was add color, I add the handle, and then I really start finagling, right? So that process takes quite a while. I could be about 2 hours generally to get to there. Then now I have to go to paper, right? So what I do is I measure out, grab my ruler, and I measure out a rectangle, right, of the dimensions I need. I wanted a 2-inch blade here, and I wanted a 1.5-inch palm swell. So once I had that and that, then the rest came down to 10 inches. This little arrow right here, I don't know if you can see it, that little arrow right there indicates the high spot. So that's my high spot. This is the balance point. So now I have my drop tip. I have the drop to the end. Now I have to draw in my slot for my lanyard slot. I have to position my holes. It's going to be a full flat. I measured 2.5 inches from the tip, and that's where I began my tip and my fall for my drop point. So everything had to be measured right. So I go from this point, and I haven't got to the next point yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Sharpie. First, I'm going to make my holes, and I'll show you when it's done. And I'm going to continue to work on these lines right here, because I've already erased this probably 10 times. You can see all the erasing marks, because I want this to be perfect. When it goes in the hand, you have to hold it and think to yourself, I don't ever want to put it down. And you have to, when it's in the grip, it has to come down to, I can use this for anything. I can use it all day, every day, and it's going to work. It's going to feel good. It's going to be right. And that's what I need to get out of this. So this is from top to bottom. That's the steel right there. That's not, you know, there's going to be a little stick tang in here or a little, no. That's the end of the tang. That's the tip of the knife, and that's what it's going to be. So let me press pause, and I'll continue to do some work. All right, so I finally got my lines down, complete, done with the lines. And now I just have some erasing to do, but you can see this is going to be the Twisted Mister knife with no name. It's going to be a 1/4 inch thick, 15.5 inches overall, 10-inch blade, 9.25 inch cutting edge. It's going to be awesome. It's going to have micarta grips. This thing is going to be a banger. So that's pretty much it. Now, I mean, aside from some erasing, just getting rid of all the extra caca lines, that's it. That's my process. That's how I come up with a knife design in my dome. And literally the whole start of it, when I first have that blank white, I just start making whatever's in my head. I just start going with a line, and that's it. and that line turns into a darker line, you know, more refined, and that darker line turns into a reshaped and finagled line, and then it turns into a make how I'm going to do a handle, and then it turns into color, and then I write down everything that all my what I want on it, what it's going to be, and then it goes to the maker, and the maker, boom, you've seen it with the Kukri house. They take, this is how I start my drawings, and they take it and they run with it, and it's good. With this, I need templates, and so that's what this is for, is all templates. Let me get some of these lines off of there. So basically what will happen is it'll go over to the shop, and Joe will take this paper and he will cut it out, and we will have a new design from paper to steel. And once that happens, then we're gonna get everything going so you guys can own one. And that's literally how it is. So you guys just watched how I make the knife with no name. Pretty sweet right there. That's gonna be awesome. Can't wait for this one to go. I'm going to add another design to that paper, maybe another 2 or 3 designs to that paper, so I can have all these templates done on one spot. And I did just create a new hunting knife. And one thing Joe does better than just about anybody I've ever seen is he does one of the sweetest, I mean sweetest, hollow grinds. So I was thinking to myself, because I usually design like a full flat or something like that. I love flat grinds. But I'm going to give you a sneak peek real quick. I designed a hunting knife, like a true all-out skin animal, but a big game hunting knife. Like I'm talking caribou, elk, moose, whatever you're going to shoot or hunt that's going to be big. That's the sneak peek right there. But it's going to be a hollow grind, and it's going to be made to be razor freaking sharp. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably post that in the community feed. And then I'm going to get it down on paper, and that's it. So don't forget, guys, if you want to make some really cool designs, be creative. Definitely get yourself some really nice pencils. Make sure you have things like this and compasses and all that kind of stuff, because you want when you're making your designs, you want your lines to be perfect, fluid, and measured. Everything has to be measured, because your balance points have to be absolutely correct, right? Everything has to be correct. From this position to this position has to be correct. From this position to this position has to be correct. From this position to this position compared to this position has to be correct. Everything about your knife, you need to know where your high point is going to be, because where your balance is. This one is an all-out, bah! So my high point, as you can tell, is way up here, where the other knife I just did is way down here. It's going to be a camp knife. So you can really see what you're looking at as far as where you're going with the design, how you want it to feel in the hand, how you want it to move away from the hand, and what it's going to be used for. That's really important. So, and outside of that, wait till you see Joe's leather work. Insane. I can't find my ruler, but it's around here somewhere. So that's it. I'm wrapping this one up. It's all done. That is from my brain to yours. That is how a dbad knife design is completely done from start to finish. Well, I had to put it right here, so you can't really see that, unless, I mean, can you see it? There's that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. I'm gonna go make some steak. I am Donnie B all day. Until next video.